Alright, welcome everybody to the most exciting game you have ever seen. That's Age of Empires Deathmatch, brought to you by AOCrealm.net for our Masters of Deathmatch tournament. Today we are bringing you UL King against WeArePaladins. And let's see, blue player as King, he will be starting off as the Mongols, and that is only means that WeArePaladins. Red player is going to be the Celts. And that's a great matchup if you've never played these two civilizations against them. They are such a great matchup. The Celts having such a great siege weaponry that it's going to be hard for those Mongols to really play against all that siege. But the Mongols do have some good siege in their own right, and they do also have those Magidai that are really going to help try to shape the game for UNL King. And then right after this game, we're going to be going ahead and switching over. Both players are going to use both civilizations, and then as long as we need to, I do believe it's going to be Franks. I forget all the civilizations we're going to use after this game, but Franks are going to be somewhere around there, and I don't know. We're going to have to jump in. We're going to have to find out later. And we have UNL King already creating 2 monasteries, already predicting that he's going to create and capture those relics before anybody, before his counterpart, WeArePaladins, is going to be able to. But WeArePaladins is doing a great job of already rushing up and having tons of siege, already capturing that middle of that base. But just like in true expert, UNL King is already started his expansion, already putting a town center by the secondary gold piles. But he better start paying attention to that center right now, because Red player has just so much siege up there, he's really going to have a hard time. If he doesn't start countering that siege, it's just going to become too overwhelming for him. Already has 2 town centers up collecting that gold, but on the other side of the map, WeArePaladins does have that one working on that second town center. Already has 2 town centers, a third and a fourth already collecting all the gold piles around him. Both players great eco, but wow, what an army just already coming down on blue player. If it already looks as if we're going to give the humongous advantage to WeArePaladins. We got siege after siege on siege, just going crazy. I'd say the only difference in the game are going to be those Magidai and the Scorps. So right now, it's just going to see, wow, that's a lot of Scorps. It's going to be hard to tell who's going to win this, but just by looking at it right now, it's going to have to be the red player. Wow, a lot of damage going to those Scorps. So just like that, you can have tons of Scorps, but those Ongers can just really go after those Scorps. And a good counter attack to those Ongers for the Celts are those his Woad Raiders. Well, it's a little tongue twister right there, but a good counterpart for the Mongols to attack red player siege are the Magidai. So both players have a great counter attack for both civilization or both siege. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a very interesting game. And WeArePaladins has already squashed UNL King's expansion to the secondary gold piles and already started collecting it himself. And like I said, that's just a ton of Scorps. But red player needs to be careful with those Scorps, or they can be just demolished instantly with some well-placed shots from those Ongators from the Mongols. What he should do is just spread those out and put them in a different defensive stance so they're not really all squished together. Already started trebucheting main castle from in blue player's main base, and wow, what just tons of economy going on right now from both players. Wow, we've got a little bit of a hold up over here on WeArePaladins. Just has so many villagers on the gold that it's just causing such a clusterfuck. Both civilizations are going to have a hard time with the wood. I'd say one of the more important things for both civilizations is that wood and gold for the Mongols and the Celts. Food, don't really have to worry too much about, probably more so for the Mongols than the Celts on the whole food aspect of the game. Just like that, it's looking pretty even though WeArePaladins is pushing blue player a little further down into his base. Things are looking pretty even right now. Wow, just got demolished by those Scorps. Wasn't able to do much. We have WeArePaladins sending in a little bit of raiding party with those Woad Warriors. Wow, really keeping those villagers inside the town center and making sure they're not collecting anything. And I'd say that blue player really needs to start collecting that wood. He's got to really start doing something that's going to put a big hold on every unit he can create, since he is the Mongols. I don't really know much you can create. He could create champions. He could create other gold gold needed units and just get demolished. As long as those, what he's doing is he's trying to make some cheap horsemen to try to attack those augurs. But as long as WeArePaladins has those scorps at the back of his army, it's not really going to be doing much since those are such weak units. And we have blue player doing a little bit of his own raiding, sending in a few rams and a few champions in there. But WeArePaladins is quick to try and take those out, but it doesn't look like he sent enough units out there, so that might become a problem for him if he doesn't take care of that soon. And here we go. It seems like UL King has found a little bit of chink in the armor, and he is trying to exploit it as much as he can, really trying to stop that expansion from WeArePaladins. He's doing a great job at it, really putting a halt to that economy, but it looks like all he's going to do is just start expanding to the other side. And as you can see, UL King's base is pretty much has been developed around this massive army from WeArePaladins, which is taking up the center part of the map. Wow, what a great game. We're gonna probably cast this one all the way through and give you highlights of the other games, because this is turning out to be a pretty good game. But for WeArePaladins, he's pretty much just sticking tight, holding his ground in the middle, not really doing much as of right now. It would do him a lot of good to start pushing up right now, because there's not much in there. I really think if he pushed his army in there, he'd be able to take out his entire army. Uh-oh, we have a little bit of a screen color problem from UL King. And here we go, sending in some of those Road Warriors. They do really well. With their speed, they do really well against those augurs. So they're great counterattack for them. And here we have red player starting to do a little bit of an aggressive attack on the side at the bottom portion of the map. But UNL King is there instantly to squash that. All he's doing, the only thing Paladins has really got going for him right now is all that siege weaponry, but it's not really doing much at the center of the map. And if I'm thinking that UNL King's whole strategy is that he has faster units than those siege. So if he's able to just keep those units away from his army, away from those scorps and those augurs, he can do a lot of damage. And here it comes. Here comes the damage. And you see what happens with those siege is it's going to take him a long time to get those scorps over to that part of the base. And uh-oh, all of a sudden the tables have looked like they are turned just a little bit. Now he's sending in just a little bit of a raiding party. Red players happen to call in those villagers, and all of a sudden his base looks like it's half of what it was just a few minutes ago. Already 40 minutes into this game. And here we have the long, slow trudge coming from those scorps on the way. And here we have a GG being called. And there we are. WeArePaladins has been defeated. What a great game, though. For a second there, it looked like he was about to take it easily. Just like that, with all that siege and being able to capture that. The center of the map is quick and easy. But UNL King was just able to put up a great economy and just come back with that. Just such an expert at it. And was just able to defeat him by staying away from that massive army, having a quicker army, and attacking him from different angles, not just going in a head-on-head front battles, front ground battle. And it was such a great game. Let's see if the other ones keep to this pace, and we'll see you on the next game. And here we go, guys, the dreaded switch. And we already have WeArePaladins claiming that he is dead. I don't know why he's saying that. I guess he's not too confident in his Mongols play. But we do have the great switch. UNL King, blue player, is now going to be the Celts. And we do have WeArePaladins in the red, now going to be the Mongols. And he already is working on those castles. His strategy is going to put tons of castles up. And it looks like UL King's strategy is going to be just a couple of different things, a few barracks, a few stables, and he's already, just like in the last game, he already has 2 monasteries planning on collecting all those relics instantly and quick fast. And what we see difference is UNL King with those Celts, he's not really creating too much siege. He is going to create a few augurs, but he's not too much, doesn't look like he's a big fan of that siege, and neither am I really. I don't like the siege. I hate it. I just hate slow games. It's just not my style. The slowness of the siege is just, no, not for me, not for me. And we already have him picking up the first relic of the game. Here, a second monk being created, going for that second relic, and he does have it captured. And we just have pretty much red player just sitting tight, letting him come to him, but no big battle has happened yet. But it looks like here we have a little bit of auger fire being able to take out quite a bit of those Maggie die, and we have a few of those hussars or whatever the hell they're called. We'll just call them scouts, since that's an easier thing to call them. We have a few going in, but it was a complete waste trying to go for a cheap shot and take out those augers with a few cheap units. But as long as you have units protecting your augers, you're going to be fine. But I don't like how he has these augers cluster fucked right now, because if it just all of WeArePaladins has to do is send one good shot in there, and he can, with one shot, he can easily take out all of those. It seems like the greatest defense against an auger or whatever is another one. See, just look at that. Look at that craziness, craziness. What a battle. And blue player is doing a great job of expanding and creating an army on the second side. So right now he sees that WeArePaladins is a little too strong. He's going to mainly just put up somewhat of a defense at the front grounds right now, to where he's going to try to distract, and he's going to send a secondary army up to the back and try to sneak in and flank him to the back of his base. But WeArePaladins is caught wise to this, and he has sent most of his army over there to try to destroy that and stop it from happening. And sneaky little blue player UNL King has already captured what you would consider WeArePaladins relic. So he is doing good on that aspect of it, and looks like WeArePaladins is pretty content on staying tight right here at the front of the battle. But he has done a good job at countering that army that King was able to send to the side of the map. King's just doing a really good job with his economy, collecting plenty of, well, actually, he's got plenty of gold, collecting plenty of gold, but he needs to do a little something about that wood and that food. I don't see, since he doesn't like creating so much siege, celts are kind of a civilization that do need food, as long as you're going to build tons of woad raiders and all that such. But he's got plenty of gold, and we'll go ahead and check WeArePaladins side, and WeArePaladins is pretty much suffering from the exact same thing. So these players are a lot alike in the aspect that they play the same game, they have the same techniques, except for some reason in the first game WeArePaladins created a ton more scorps and such as that. And it seems to be working a little bit better in King's side, not creating so much siege, not putting so much reliability in those slow-moving siege. And we have found a few farms, going to take those out with those Maggie die, just destroying those farms. WeArePaladins has done a great job at recapturing the side of his base, recollecting that gold pile. Does look like he needs to start putting a few more villagers on the farms and the wood, and that's exactly what he's doing. So great job on that. And those Woad Warriors doing a great job. With the speed, they're just able to get in there and take out those Ongators with no problem. As the Ongators are firing upon him, every shot seems to be behind him because of their speed and their agility.